The following is sponsored by YWCA Greater Cleveland.
For over 160 years, YWCA has been on a mission to eliminate racism, empower women, and promote peace, justice, freedom, and dignity for all. For all. That means women and girls across the gender and LGBTQ+ spectrum, people of color, victims of domestic and sexual violence, for survivors and fighters and builders of all kinds. A tall order, right? Not with your help. As our nation strives to heal the deep wounds of racial injustice and the COVID-19 pandemic continues to disrupt our lives, YWCA's work has never been more urgent. Women have been hit hard by lost jobs, lost wages, and lost childcare. Girls are experiencing unprecedented mental health challenges, and communities of color are struggling under the weight of COVID-19's disparate impact on their health and the devastation of racial injustice. At YWCA, we hear their voices every day. We work directly with real people, living real lives. We know that the crises facing our nation right now are enormous. But together, we have the power to make a difference, to give communities the resources to rebuild so that women and girls can thrive. Yes, together, because none of us can go it alone. With your help, we can pass legislation and establish policies that women know will make a difference in their lives. We can bolster childcare and early learning programs for working mothers. We can protect survivors of violence of all kinds. We can build economic security, fair workplaces, racial equity, and mental health support for women and families in need. With your help, we can mend the pieces of our fractured nation. Sit with us. Let's talk about the path forward. Let's rebuild together.
Welcome to the YWCA Greater Cleveland Women of Achievement Awards Ceremony. I'm April Miller-Boyce, and I'm honored to be hosting tonight's event alongside my dear friend Heidi Friedman. As former recipients of this prestigious award ourselves, we know just how meaningful it is to be recognized by an organization like the YWCA for your career accomplishments and your involvement in our wonderful community. Tonight, we will get to know 8 women who are powerhouses of progress and trailblazers in our city. So thank you for joining us as we uplift our 2022 honorees and shine a light on what makes them so well deserving of this award.
Wow, April, I cannot wait to get to know this extraordinary class of women. But first, let's get to know the organization that has been hosting this important event for over 45 years. I can't even believe that. With the mission of eliminating racism and empowering women, YWCA Greater Cleveland is dedicated to serving those impacted by homelessness and racial and gender injustice. It's a cause that has been near and dear to my heart for years. Here to kick things off is YWCA's interim president and CEO, Teresa Sanders.
Thank you, ladies. I am so thrilled to have you host our event tonight. It has been my honor to serve as YWCA Greater Cleveland's Chief Program Officer for the past 10 years, and now to serve in the role of Interim CEO. I saw YWCA undergo transformational change that has allowed us to truly live in our mission of eliminating racism and empowering women at all levels of our organization. YWCA is guided by a shared vision, top down and bottom up, to promote peace, justice, freedom, and dignity for all. Together, we have done incredible work that's transformed this organization and the communities we serve. Work driven by visionary leadership, unmatched dedication and passion. Work that's resulted in sustainable awareness and actionable racial equity strategies. Work that's taken root not just locally, but also regionally and even nationally. My team and I are committed to centering the voices of Black and brown women and girls in everything we do. And we are going to continue to deliver on the priorities laid out in our strategic plan. Racial equity and social justice, the empowerment and economic advancement of women and girls of color, health and safety, particularly for women and girls of color. I want to thank YWCA's partners, stakeholders, staff, and most importantly, our community, for your continued dedication and support through uncertain times. I know we can build a future where Cleveland is not the worst city for Black women, but one where women of color and their families are uplifted and thriving.
And now, let's get to know our 2022 Women of Achievement.
Miranda Creel is the Executive Vice President of Commercial Treasury Sales at PNC. In her role, she leads 150 professionals throughout the country to help companies manage their working capital more efficiently and effectively. Miranda has also been a leader in expanding professional development opportunities for women and people of color. In 2010, she led PNC's first ever employee resource group in Cleveland, which today has over 400 members. Serving on the Corporate Diversity Council, her commitment to empowering minority populations is self-evident. Throughout her more than 35 years at PNC Bank, Miranda has climbed the corporate ladder, starting as a teller. In all that she does, Miranda Creel demonstrates power, personality, and perseverance. Miranda, congratulations. So great to be here with you today.
Thank you, April.
So I know you always knew as a little girl that you wanted to work at a bank. Tell me how you knew that and how that got you to where you are today.
Yeah, it's so interesting. When I was 14, my dad took me to National City to open my first bank account. And I was just really thrilled about like watching the people counting the money, and it's just the whole atmosphere was really great for me. So then I told my dad, it's like one day I'm gonna be a teller. And my dad's like, okay, but aspire to be more. And I was like, all right, Dad. Then what I did when I graduated high school, I did not want to go to college immediately. So I applied at National City, became a teller, and I just continued through the organization, had a number of opportunities. I moved from being a teller to an administrative assistant, and then had an opportunity to work with McKinsey & Company as an analyst. And then after that, they put me into the management training program. I actually went into the management training program, had a chance to manage a branch a couple years, and then I was tapped to work in treasury management. I had no idea what treasury management was, but I said, hey, that's something that I probably would, be good at, so I decided to do that. I did that for probably like 5 years, became the #1 producer in sales, and then they tapped me and asked if I wanted to be the employment manager. And again, I was like, employment manager, why would I ever do that? I love to sell, and they said, you sell human capital. And I ended up doing that for a couple years, and they asked me to come back, but if I would move to Indianapolis and actually manage the sales force for the state of Indiana, which I did. I had a great experience, moved there by myself, didn't know anyone, and then ultimately came back to Cleveland and became a regional. From the regional role, I became the segment head, which I am today, and I manage a team of 150 across the United States, and we really work hard to manage working capital for companies.
That is an incredible story of climbing the corporate ladder. Well done.
Thank
well
you.
done. Very inspirational. So tell me about, I know you have this 80-20 rule and you use that in your mentoring. Tell us a little bit more about what that means for you.
It's so interesting. When I kind of think about mentoring, I think about the people that I connect with. So 80% of the individuals that I connect with are women, 20% are men, and then 80% are people of color and 20% are not. And it wasn't that I initially made that as a focus. Basically what happened, it just kind of happened over time. But I think it's really important for individuals to be able to connect, for people that look like them, and having opportunities to have open and honest conversations and being able to be real. And I think that really has helped me along the way in my mentoring. And also, I get mentored. I feel that a lot of times for the mentees that I'm able to learn from them as well. So it's kind of a reciprocal experience.
I agree. 360 mentoring. I love that. I love that. So my final question is, tell us what it feels like to be in the class this year of honorees for the YWCA 2022 Women of Achievement.
It's so interesting, April, because I look at myself as a servant leader. I don't look at like the accolades or looking for acknowledgement, but I do look at thinking about racism and being able to end racism, being able to empower women, having women think about areas where they can focus on and things they can do. I've had an opportunity to meet a number of wonderful individuals throughout this process, so networking, but I think by and large, it's all about being able to share, to be able to give back, and being able to help anyone who might see someone that looks like me that has not thought about areas where they could accomplish and achieve. And I think that's what the YWCA does, is it allows people to really think through what they could accomplish, and being able to see people who have, and then also being able to take that and make it their own.
Wow, congratulations, Miranda. Well done.
Thank you.
Robyn Gordon is the Director of Center Operations at NASA Glenn Research Center. In this capacity, she manages organizational objectives, direction, resource allocation, and institutional functions. Gordon also coordinates and integrates activities of the institution with cross-directorate organizations. Serving as the first Black woman to hold this position, Robyn has climbed the ranks at NASA Glenn throughout her 20 years of service with the institution and has expanded their STEM engagement and workforce pipeline. Dedicated to the people of Cleveland, Robyn serves as a board member with the Sisters of Charity Foundation and the Girl Scouts of Northeast Ohio. Robyn Gordon is a trailblazer, a knowledgeable hard worker, and a straight shooter. Robyn, congratulations. I'm so happy to be here with you today.
Thank you. So am I.
I'm looking forward to our conversation. So, exposing the power of professional development to your colleagues has always been important to you, especially among women of color. What is a piece of advice you would give to girls and women looking to advance their careers in STEM, which is your field?
So I've been given two really great pieces of advice. One we've all heard: be yourself, because everyone else is already taken. And so if you can't be who you are at your core, it's never going to be a good fit for you. The other piece of advice someone at NASA gave me when I started, and they told me, just keep walking like you know where you're going and like you're supposed to be there until someone tells you to stop.
I love it. So be yourself and act like you belong in the room.
Right.
That is great advice. Many of your most esteemed accomplishments at NASA aim to reach underserved and underrepresented youth. Why is serving this group of young people so important to you, and how did it become a driving factor of your work and your initiatives?
We live in a world driven by technology, and everyone needs to be able to participate in that, to research, to create, to innovate, and we have to bring every student along so that we find the next Katherine Johnson or Mary Jackson.
I love it. That's really inspiring. As a former board of the Sisters of Charity Foundation Cleveland, you led the oversight committee for the Innovation Health Campus project, which is amazing. What is your vision for the new health campus, and what are some of the most critical issues that it will address?
My vision for the campus is for it to be a destination of choice for people to come for wellness, work, entertainment. Your zip code can actually determine your lifespan, and that's a problem. This campus will address the determinants of health that show that you shorten your lifespan. We want to help increase lifespan.
Incredible work. I'm so glad you guys are doing that. And then my last question for you is, what does it mean to you to be an honoree this year and as a 2022 YWCA Woman of Achievement?
This is incredibly humbling to me because when you look at the cadre of women in this group, it's amazing. And that someone thought enough of me to, put me forward for this group, it's amazing to me. I'm incredibly honored.
So well deserved. Congratulations, Robyn.
Thank you.
Each year, the Women of Professional Excellence Award is presented to a group of phenomenal women recognized by their employers for their exceptional professional drive and community involvement. No small feat. They embody the spirit of this event by their willingness to serve as mentors and sponsors, to empower others in the workplace, and to enhance the communities in which they live. These women are leaders in their organizations and are role models to so many. Congratulations to this year's Women of Professional Excellence.
Congratulations to Ywca Ashley, Jillian Beebe, Rashawn Bunton, Jennifer Burkhart, Jamie Clapper, Jessica Cuffia Corlett, Ann Disler, Kate Gasparo, Lorraine Galding, Helena Hayes Carter, and Amy Kilbane.
For more than 140 years, adults experiencing chronic homelessness have called Cogswell Hall home. Founded in 1878 in the Detroit Shoreway neighborhood, Cogswell has seen numerous building remodels and operational changes before becoming a part of the YWCA of Greater Cleveland's family just 2 years ago. Over the years, the home has served various populations, but fostering a sense of community and belonging for our residents have remained at its core. Today, Cogswell Hall provides permanent housing, supportive services, and quality trauma-informed care to 41 residents. By uplifting the voices of disabled and economically disadvantaged members of our community, Cogswell Hall has changed the lives of countless individuals.
I had some college at Crcc Metro in '77. I had to give up the schooling for a while to take care of my mother because she grew ill. I was a full-time caregiver of my mom up until she passed. Well, I lived in East Cleveland in a group home. That place wasn't safe for me. The theft and, other things. So I called my case manager, and she looked up online and she found Cogswell Hall. They took me on the tour. I fell in love with it the minute I walked in the door. It brought me hope, I feel safe and comfortable here. It's the staff. I learned a lot from them. Teach me how to maintain my independence, how to stand up for myself. They're a lot of fun to be around. They take their time out to help us. I like to help others. I'm a social butterfly. I draw, I paint, I play the piano by ear. I found support and encouragement, and I came a long ways maintaining my health. Hopefully I'll have a job, a part-time job, and I want to, be somebody, have a brighter future.
Wow, what an amazing story. We are so lucky to have residents like Lynette with us at Cogswell Hall. She currently serves on the Resident Advisory Council, motivates other residents to participate in programming, and partners with our staff to plan activities. Lynette represents the promise of Cogswell Hall, a home where disadvantaged adults can live safely in community on a road to independence and self-sufficiency. Recently, Lynette became employed through a community training program, an opportunity she is extremely excited to have. With your help, we could continue to support the full self-sufficiency of residents as we work with them to target and achieve their personal, financial, educational, and health goals. Text WOA22 to the number 41444 to support Cogswell Hall. Your gift will help us to continue to provide housing and food security to Cogswell residents, offer case management and mental health services, and plan engaging activities and programs that offer hope and happiness to all who call Cogswell home.
Pastor Courtney Clayton Jenkins is the senior pastor at the South Euclid United Church of Christ, where she leads a unique, multicultural, multi-generational congregation, making history as the first woman, first African American, and the youngest pastor to lead the congregation. At the age of just 27, Reverend Jenkins led the church out of the ashes as she was called to serve just 6 months after a lightning strike burned its building to the ground. Her work is truly remarkable. In May of 2016, she developed a community food pantry to assist families who are experiencing food insecurity. And in 2018, the church launched a Children's Defense Fund Freedom School, a summer program to help generate positive attitudes towards learning and connect families to resources. Pastor Jenkins is a visionary leader and an Advent servant. Pastor Courtney, so happy to have you here today. We missed you on our full filming day, but I know you were off being a mom, which I certainly appreciate, and we're excited to have you in the studio and chat with you now and congratulate you.
Thank you so much. I'm really excited to be here, and I appreciate the grace, because mom is the highest achievement.
Amen to that. I agree to that. So tell me, how did you discover that preaching was your calling and your passion?
It's been there since I was a child. I always felt this proclivity to things that are spiritual, to that there's got to be something bigger than me in this world. And at 5, somebody said, what do you want to be when you grow up? I said, maybe a pastor, but it looks boring. In 6th grade, I took the Myers-Briggs. It said truck driver or pastor were my top professions. But really in college, my spirituality was shaped. I asked my pastor for an opportunity to explore ministry. I was feeling this call, but I was supposed to be the president of a Fortune 500 company, not a pastor. And to this day, this is what I was born to do. And I love it. I love it in all forms. And one of the things people often forget is, as much as I am a pastor, I also run a business. It's a nonprofit business, but it's a couple $1 million worth of a business. And we have to be good stewards of what's been entrusted to us.
Yeah, so you are a female CEO as well, right?
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about what it meant to you to be the first African-American female, youngest, 27, oh my God. And how does that motivate you?
It was a lot of pressure. When you are first, when you pave a path, a lot of other people who are yet to be seen depend on your ability to be bruised by moving through a path that has not yet been charted by someone else. It was difficult, it was hard, but I knew that if it worked, it would work well. You heard about the fire. Yeah. I remember saying to God, this is the start of a great story. Literally the day they called me, there's a fire, I'm these firsts.
Talk about fresh beginnings.
Yes, it's starting well. I hope it ends well.
Yeah.
It's been a phenomenal journey. And I've simply tried to be my authentic self. And I will say in each version of who I am. We all are evolving, we're all growing. And it's been phenomenal to make ways and to show other women in ministry that we do not have to lead like men. We can be who we are, and to know that that's enough.
Yeah, you're allowing others that are going to come after you to be their authentic self,
Absolutely.
which is so unbelievable. And obviously that led to this amazing recognition as a YWCA Woman of Achievement. What does that mean to you, Pastor Courtney?
It comes at a really interesting point. I am approaching 12 years as the pastor of South Euclid, and I am preparing for sabbatical. I think that I've done some pretty cool things in this first 12 years. This comes at a moment for me to reflect on, but what else can we do? How else can we make impact? And in particular on this platform, how can we assure that women and girls are able to see and visualize that what has been male dominated allows the future to be female? This is an opportunity for me to thank God for what God has done through me and through this ministry, but it's also an inspiration to dream wider and to believe further that anything is possible.
I love that. Well, you inspire so many, and so the future is female. I love that. So thank you and congratulations.
Thank you.
Klotz is the headmistress of Laurel School, a private college preparatory day school serving girls from kindergarten through 12th grade. Anne has worked as an English and drama teacher and school administrator for more than 30 years and is devoted to the social and emotional development of girls. Under her leadership, Laurel Center for Research on Girls was founded in 2007 and is known across the nation for its research on the educational development of girls, as well as the professional development standards for faculty who specialize in teaching girls. Anne is an avid reader and published writer with pieces appearing in the NIAS, Independent School Magazine, and the Huffington Post. Anne works to live the mission of Laurel daily, to inspire each girl to fulfill her promise and to better the world. And as a Laurel mom, I can testify to that. So Anne, I'm so excited to be here with you today. Congratulations.
Well, thank you, Heidi. I'm happy to be here. I'm very honored.
Well, you should be, but you really have done some incredible things. And in founding the Laurel Center for Research on Girls, you really sought to rethink how girls should be educated by focusing on the whole girl, socially, mentally, and physically. Tell me a little bit about one of the LCRG studies that's most impactful to you.
Heidi, I would say that's our 21st Century Athena's study, where we took a hard look working with researchers from BC and BU so that we could have both qualitative and quantitative data over about 6 semesters. We wanted to examine the relationship between well-being and academic achievement. As you know, academic achievement is as essential as oxygen at Laurel School. But we wanted to know what girls needed to thrive. And of course, what we discovered is that when a school tends to the social and emotional well-being of a student, her achievement soars. And so, it's not kinder and gentler or softer to take care of how she feels. It's actually urgent and essential. And at Laurel, we want her graduation, when she crosses the stage at Severance Hall, to be the first step of how her life will unspool. And she'll be able to use the foundation she gained at Laurel for the rest of her life to live the mission and values of our school.
I love it, unschool. I love, that's a great term. And what fantastic, I mean, and it's so relevant, especially now more than ever. So what is the most important lesson girls learn at Laurel, and what's embodied daily into your students?
So I think you know that we have the mission painted in the front hall and the values painted in the dining room. And that's because we want our students to see and live those every single day. You said the mission, to inspire each girl to fulfill her promise and to better the world. Inspire is from the Greek, to breathe life into. And then our value statement goes like this: committed to building a just and inclusive world, Laurel girls are courageous, creative, ethical, and compassionate. That's what our daughters, yours and mine, and all the students at Laurel need to face the complicated world that they will inherit. And so our hope is that every decision we make can be linked right back to those mission and values, and that we are thinking every single day about what is going to empower our girls to thrive and take their places at any table in the world.
I love that. I still have my yet button. It says there's nothing you can't do.
Growth mindset,
Growth
right?
mindset, right? So what does it mean to be honored as a 2022 Women of Achievement, Ann?
Well, first of all, I'm humbled, and I'm really grateful to be in the constellation of these bright women who have cared about Cleveland and cared about this region. I feel honored to be part of that. And when I first came to Cleveland and read the mission of the Y about eliminating racism and empowering women, I thought, yep, that's what I believe too. It's what I hope I'm doing every single day in a small girls' school in Shaker Heights, because we have the opportunity to shape the future.
Right, you're making our future constellations even brighter.
That's
so
my hope.
congratulations to you.
Thank
so
you.
well deserved.
Thank you, Heidi. Thank you.
Our next group of women of professional excellence are movers and shakers in their industries, understanding that we rise by lifting others. Congratulations, ladies.
Congratulations to Candace Maiden, Ronna McNair, Dr. Karen Miller, Tracy Mitchell, Ginger Mlakar, Jennifer Palmieri, Allison Teller-Reich, Amanda Schaub, Chanel Smith, Allie Spielis, Regina Strauss, Catherine Truman, Jill Wurzburg, and Monica Zoltan.
Each year, the YWCA offers the Women's City Club Scholarship to a woman pursuing her educational goals and aspirations. For the first time, the YWCA will be presenting this scholarship to a current staff member. Letitia Gomez first joined the organization 9 years ago as a cook for the Early Learning Center. Today, she's the Director of Family Services and has her sights set on heading back to school to earn a degree in Human Services. Now let's hear from Tish about her YWCA journey and the impact of this scholarship.
Thank you, April. You know, before I started at the YWCA, I had convinced myself that I didn't like people. That's why I accepted the cook position. I could be out the way, but still be in the presence of children, as I've been in childcare for over 20 years. Eventually, Teresa Standards would come to me and say, I see how the parents gravitate toward you. You have a way of talking to them and supporting them. I think I have a new position for you. And I became the Family Engagement Coordinator. The organization saw something in me that I couldn't see. The Early Learning Center is a 2-generational model, but so is the YWCA as a whole. They pour into their staff and want the whole family unit to succeed. I am so grateful for the YWCA and the journey that my career has taken because of this organization. The leadership team trusted me in this new role, and I was determined not to fail. I'm now the Director of Family Services, and I have achieved 2 of my adult dreams. I was able to take my family to Disney, and I just recently moved into my brand new home. I'm so grateful to be doing the thing I love, which is building relationships with our families and supporting them on their journey to self-sufficiency. I'm so excited to be starting classes soon and furthering my education. I've been so encouraged by my colleagues at the YWCA already, and I'm so honored to be chosen as a scholarship recipient this year. Thank you.
Wow, Tish, thank you for sharing and congratulations on your award. It is evident that the YWCA transforms the lives of not only its participants, but its staff as well. In fact, a number of current staff were first introduced to the organization as participants themselves. Please support the YWCA today and help the next young woman on her way to pursuing her goals and dreams.
Sandra Madison is the Chief Executive Officer and Chairperson at Robert P. Madison International. the first Black-owned architecture firm in Ohio. Sandra has dedicated more than 30 years of service to RPMI, moving with the firm from Maryland to Cleveland. One of Sandra's most noteworthy qualities is her determination. Since becoming CEO in 2016, she's landed several projects to revive RPMI, including the Hilton Hotel Cleveland downtown, Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, and the Greater Cleveland Food Bank's new distribution center. Sandra lends her expertise and talent to many community projects and organizations, including the Architecture, Construction, and Engineering Cleveland Mentor Board, Greater Cleveland Partnership Equity and Inclusion Board, and the Shaker Heights Architectural Review Board, where she has served for over 12 years and is the current chairperson. Sandra Madison is a passionate designer, a role model, and a boss. Sandra, congratulations. It's so great to be here with you today.
Thank you.
The field of architecture is pretty male-dominated. So tell me, as a woman, how and why you decided to go into this field.
I guess I started when I was very young. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew what I loved. And having grown up in a very depressed neighborhood, I always loved to make my surroundings better. And that's what I noticed. It made me feel happier. So as I was growing up, I would always be painting or planting flowers or rearranging furniture or something like that. And so as I grew up in high school, still didn't know what I wanted to do. My counselor said, "Did you think about architecture?" And I never been to an architect before, didn't know what they did. And so my mom, who was a organizer in the neighborhood, she was always good at doing those types of things, she got me a scholarship or internship in Boston to work with Stella Associates. And that's how I became an architect. My mother always encouraged me to do whatever I wanted to do. And so she was always right behind me. So I would say that's how I got started.
I love it. That's fantastic. So that's interesting. That leads me to my next question. Family-owned and operated RPMI is historically known as the first Black firm, architectural firm in Ohio. And what does it mean to you to be elected CEO of this kind of family-owned historic business?
Wow. When I was first elected, I was scared to death because, number one, I knew the history. I knew what Robert went through to build this firm, and the last thing I wanted to do was to fail. I'm not blood related, but I'm married to his nephew, and the last thing I wanted to do was to let everybody down. But they had faith in me, which meant that I had to buck up and just do this, and and so here I am today. But it's not about me alone. I still say that there's people around me that help put us where we are right now. So,
fantastic, great job. When you took on the role to lead the firm, you saw the opportunity to implement policies to improve the workplace, especially for women on your staff. Where did you start, and why was that important to you as the leader of the firm?
Because I'm a woman, number one, and I saw, in my years to joining Margaret Mitchell, I had worked in other firms for 10 years, and I saw that, first of all, we weren't paid the same. The pay was always behind the males, and someone said to me, it's because the males have families to take care of. And I said, well, I have a family too, and I work just as hard. And when I'm working just as hard, correcting sometimes what our male counterpart is doing, I didn't think that was fair. So one of the things I started out was when I became the CEO was looking at everyone's salary, making sure that everybody was paid what they should be paid, and had the opportunity to move up in the firm as everyone else did.
I love it. So pay parity for women, obviously really important. So thank you for that. Mm-hmm. And then my last question is, how does it feel to be among this year's class of 2022 as a woman of achievement for the YWCA?
It feels awesome and humbling because I never know who's watching to see what I'm trying to do for the people around me. That's one thing that my mom always said, you have to help someone else as you're growing, because that's the only thing you can do. It's the best thing, that's what you should do. And so I didn't know anybody was watching, so I am humbled by it. I was very surprised to get that call, so I thank them very much.
Well deserved. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
Sandra Miller is the president and chief executive officer of the Cleveland Rape Crisis Center. During her tenure, Sondra has executed strategic plans that have helped the center experience unprecedented growth. This includes increasing the number of full-time staff, revenue, and locations, but most importantly, the number of people impacted by 235%. Under Sondra's leadership, the Cleveland Rape Crisis Center became the largest independent rape crisis center in the country. On April 1st, 2021, the CRCC opened the Human Trafficking Drop-In Center in the Glenville neighborhood. Sondra is a dedicated and compassionate leader who inspires and drives organizational transformation. Sondra, I'm so excited to chat with you today. Congratulations.
Great to be with you.
So under your leadership, the Cleveland Rape Crisis Center has seen unprecedented growth. It's the largest independent rape crisis center in the country and the first to earn this very special accreditation. Can you tell us a little about that accreditation and what it means to you to have achieved that?
Absolutely. You know, it was never a goal to be the largest rape crisis center. It has always been our goal to be the best. But we have some extraordinary need in Northeast Ohio, and the only way that Cleveland Rape Crisis Center could meet the needs of survivors was to attract new resources, hire more staff, and expand our programming. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how many places we operate or how many people we serve. What matters is that each and every person who walks through our doors gets the care that they deserve and they need.
Good. That's exceptional. Also, in an effort to create a more equitable and inclusive environment, you helped develop the Equity and Inclusion Council at CRCC. Can you tell us why this internal initiative is such a crucial element to providing service to all of your participants and survivors?
Yes. So when a survivor walks through our doors, they're coming to us at one of the most vulnerable times in their life. And they bring their full identity, all of their life experiences are coming through the door with them. And as the Rape Crisis Center, our responsibility really is to say it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter what happened to you, it doesn't matter what your life has been like. What matters is you made it here today, and we welcome you with open arms. But to create that kind of welcoming environment for our clients, we have to have employees that feel safe coming to work and feel like they can show up every day as their true, authentic selves and not feel like they have to suppress any element of their identity. The Equity and Inclusion Council was an employee initiated endeavor. It's employee-led, it's employee-supported, and I just really had to be smart enough to say yes, and let's put some resources behind this, and it absolutely was the right thing to do.
Yeah, so you're making a difference inside and outside as well, so that's really spectacular. And as former chief operating officer of the YWCA, we were just talking about this. Can you believe that? I remember that so clearly. You know, having started there, what does it mean to you to be a 2022 YWCA Woman of Achievement?
Yeah, it feels a little like a full circle moment for sure. The first person I thought of when I heard from the YWCA was Barbara Danforth. It was the former CEO and invested so much in me personally. I have such great respect and admiration for the mission of the YWCA, and the organization being over 100 years old. I feel like their mission is even more relevant today than it was when they started, and one of my proudest moments is when women in the community talk to me about the impact the YWCA has had on them and on their career. And I know I played some teeny tiny part in making that happen, but I couldn't be more proud to be a part of this circle of women.
Well, I'm so glad it came back full circle, because you certainly deserve it. Congratulations, and thanks for helping us all believe it can happen.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sandra.
The economic empowerment of women and girls, particularly women and girls of color, is one of the cornerstones of YWCA's strategic plan. We know that income and economic opportunities impact so many other areas of our lives. Our income can limit our access to high-quality childcare and schools, healthcare, and safe and stable housing. In Ohio, the minimum wage is $9.30 per hour. At YWCA, we believe that it is our people that make the difference. That is why, in 2018, YWCA raised our own minimum wage to $15 per hour, and why we have set a new goal to increase our minimum wage again to $20 an hour by 2025. It was a difficult adjustment at first, but I am so proud to say that we are walking the walk and showing our team how valuable they truly are to the success of our mission. I want to encourage viewers to review your workplace's HR policies and begin a conversation in your organization about the ability of a living wage to empower employees and give them the security they need to bring their best selves to work, thrive, and achieve. If you would like to learn more about living wage, I would encourage you to register for YWCA's Stand Against Racism Challenge on our website, ywcaofcleveland.org, where you can find curated articles, podcasts, and videos to help you learn more about this important topic and how to take action.
Roseanne Potter is Senior Vice President and Chief Financial Officer at the Cleveland Foundation, where she manages the finance function for the foundation, which includes its $3.2 billion in investments, as well as the accounting and insurance functions. Throughout her career, Roseanne has been a powerhouse in the historically male-dominated corporate investment field. At the Cleveland Foundation, she has introduced various strategies to promote diversity, equity, and inclusion in the management and investment of the foundation's endowment. These strategies, which have served as a model for other foundations nationally, include uniquely developing investment pools that are focused on gender and racial justice and inclusion. Potter is a former board member of the American Heart Association, Go Red campaign, and the Make-A-Wish Foundation's Northeast Ohio chapter. Roseanne is a pioneer, tackling the investment world with tact and tenacity. Roseanne, I am so thrilled to have you here today and to be able to chat with you a little bit.
Thank you, Heidi.
You have been working in money management for over 30 years. So how did you fall in love with managing money?
Well, you know, it was simple. I first fell in love with money when I was in college. I was a bank teller during my summer vacations. And I quickly
That goes a while back.
It goes a while back. But I quickly saw people's investments grow, and I thought to myself, boy, what's more fun than making money with money? And so I really fell in love with it back then. But the thing that excites me about it now is really the day-to-day current market activities. I like the fluctuations. I like having to be kept on my toes. And, you know, I'm just very thrilled and fortunate that I found something I was passionate about at a very early age.
You definitely are, and you've done well doing it. So you certainly see the value and importance of surrounding yourself with people of diverse backgrounds and genders and experiences, especially in investment management. How do you link the two?
You know, it's a very good question. And one of the things that's so important is about looking at the investment managers themselves and their team. Diversity investments are very important to us in that, do you know, Heidi, only 1.4% of the assets managed in this country are managed by people of color. And that statistic—
It's a sad statistic.
It's a sad statistic that has to change. And so we've been very committed at the Cleveland Foundation. We've had a diversity investment program for a number of years, and I'm proud to say we have over $235 million invested in diverse managers, and we're just getting going.
Good for you. I can't wait to see what else you're going to do. So now you've also established a work-life balance to the extent there is such a thing, while continuing, you know, pouring yourself into others and everything you're doing it. So how do you do it? What would you advise others so that they could have that balance as well?
Well, I have to be honest with you. It's been a little bit hard working at home for 2 years during the pandemic. That's been a little bit tougher. But generally speaking, you know, being a CFO is only a part of who I am. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, I'm an aunt. I'm many people to many things. And so what I've done is add little habits throughout my days, whether it's 15 minutes of meditation in the morning or making phone calls to friends and family on the way home from work. It's really about incorporating whatever you have to do to just kind of keep that balance going. And most importantly, you have to make some time for yourself to relax and rejuvenate. That's the key.
So Roseanne, what does it mean to you to be honored as a 2022 YWCA Women of Achievement?
Well, Heidi, first I would really like to thank the YWCA for this honor. It's incredible to be included with these women who have given so much of their lives to the community in so many different ways. And this is probably the most meaningful award that I've ever received, because it's not about my work, but it's really about the work of the YWCA and the Cleveland Foundation, how we're both working for the same core mission values, and I'm just honored to be a little part of it. Thank you so much.
Well, so well deserved. Congratulations, Roseanne.
Thank you, Heidi.
Renee Richard is the Vice President of Legal Services and Risk Management at Cuyahoga Community College, where she has thrived for the past 9 years. Offering legal counsel and advice to each department at the college, Renee is also an advocate for Tri-C's more than 20,000 students. Interacting with students on a consistent basis, Renee is able to inform the leaders of the college of the student experience. In addition to being an attorney, Renee is also a certified public accountant and spent many years in public finance. As a finance professional, she worked across the broad spectrum of organizations and industries, including banks, municipal and state governments, and nonprofit organizations. Renee serves as a member of the Finance Committee for the NAACP Cleveland branch and is a beloved board member of the YWCA Greater Cleveland. Renee is a member, a motivator, and a community activist. Renee, congratulations. I'm so happy for you, and I'm so excited to talk with you today.
Thank you so much, April.
So my first question is, as a lawyer, what made you go into the field of law, and did you always know that you wanted to couple legal with education?
So to the last question, no, I didn't always know that. I started out as an accountant, and I worked for a number of years in public accounting, and at some point I decided I want to do something that's broader than numbers. And so I knew I wanted to try law. I thought maybe I'd be a tax lawyer. So I went to law school, took a lot of business courses, took a lot of tax courses, and then I was recruited to join a corporate law firm here in Cleveland. Went through a number of different departments and decided on public finance because I could still use my accounting background. And after doing public finance for about 20 years, I was recruited by the CFO at Tri-C to apply for the position of general counsel. It was something new for me. It gave me an opportunity to work with people, with students, administrators, and work on things where I could see an immediate impact. I could tell that I could make a difference right away with the decisions that I had to make. So it's been a great choice, and I love what I do.
So Renee, as president of the Lynx Incorporated, you worked on a project called the Lynx Girls Academy. Tell me a little bit more about that and what motivated you guys to do that program.
The Lynx Girls Academy is one of the joys in my life. The Lynx Girls Academy is a service project that Lynx Incorporated puts on, and the Cleveland chapter is responsible for working with 4th to 6th grade girls. We try to expose them to events, ideas, careers, things that they wouldn't meet in their normal life. They wouldn't see in their day-to-day life. Mm-hmm. And these young girls are like sponges. They are so excited to meet with us. We meet with them once a month. Pre-pandemic, we would go to places like the Science Museum. We participated in Parade on the Circle. They made an animated feature at local computer stores. And since the pandemic, we've kept it going on a monthly basis. We talk with the girls, we have career day with them, bring dentists in, members of our organization meet with them and talk to them about their careers. They're writing a book, they're illustrating it, and they're having a great time, and we have a great time with them. So it's a great project for the girls and for the Lynx.
That's great. That's such a great program. And my last question is, how does it feel to be a woman of achievement in the 2022 class?
It's remarkable. I had absolutely no idea that I would be a woman of achievement. I'm a girl from the inner city of Cleveland. I mean, you don't just get here. I'm so humbled and so honored to actually be here. And I like to say that I think it's a reflection of the way my parents raised me. It's a reflection of how I've tried to live my life and handle my professional career. So I am sincerely honored and humbled to have this award.
Congratulations, well deserved. What a night, right, Heidi?
Absolutely.
I don't know about you, but I am left feeling inspired and motivated after talking to our phenomenal Women of Achievement honorees.
I could not agree more, April. And how about the incredible work the YWCA is doing to make our community a more equitable place to call home? I really hope all of you at home enjoyed the show and just see how big of an impact the YWCA can have with the right support.
That's right. We hope you'll consider making a gift tonight in honor of the amazing women recognized here tonight and the next generation of leaders to be honored by the YWCA in the future.
The YWCA is doing life-changing work. Please help them continue their mission of eliminating racism and empowering women. Our text to give details can be found below. Do not miss this important opportunity to support them.
Congratulations again to all the women recognized tonight. We are honored to know you and to work alongside you in our community. To our event sponsors, YWCA is grateful to have you all as partners in this work of women empowerment. Thank you for your commitment.
And to our audience, thank you for joining us tonight in celebration of women. April and I were honored to be here with you.
Good night.